kings and queens, welcome to this week's Sinha vlog and blog. This week we will be speaking all about hair oiling, the history of hair oiling, why it still is around to this day, as well as some modern methods that is used as a substitute for hair oiling. And right at the end I will be showing you a very special hot oil session that was taught to me by my grandma back in the day. For a little note, we know we missed our Sinha vlog and blog last week, and we apologize for that. We hope this week's content will make up for the lack of blog and vlog last week. We did have a little bit of a technical issue where we lost our footage right at the end and couldn't recover and have content in time, so we hope you forgive us for that. If you would rather read our blog instead of watching our vlog, all of our information is also at sinhahair.com at Sinha Vlogs, and you can go ahead and read it. I will also leave a link down below for you to check it out. So the first part of our video is the history of hair oiling. And hair oiling, to start, is a very Ayurvedic practice that has been passed down for 4,000 years or more. And this entails massaging your hair with a herbal oil, so an oil that is infused with Ayurvedic plants and herbs, onto your hair and scalp, so starting with your scalp all the way to the ends of your hair. While this practice does come from Ayurveda in general, it has been practiced amongst many Asian countries, including Sri Lanka, where I was born, as I remember my grandma as a child used to oil my hair at least 1 to 3 times a week and braid it every night to make sure I wash it off in the morning, and my hair was always shining and thick and at the best health it was possibly at when she was taking care of it. And this ritual is also often shared amongst many families in Asia, and now it's starting to move towards more of the Western countries. At a young age in our families, we are taught how important hair oiling is. So not only does it promote hair health and growth, it also protects your hair from future damage such as sun damage and SPF damage. In Western culture, often you will notice you put on hair masks once your hair has already been damaged and it's already worn out or dry. Unlike in Ayurveda and in Asian cultures, we often do it before the hair is damaged, so we oil our hair at least 1 to 3 times a week to prevent those issues and to prevent further damage before it happens. Hair oiling has many benefits, not only for hair growth and strength. It's still popular for a very good reason, as oiling has tons of benefits for massaging and saturating the scalp, making sure the blood is circulated. It helps with the hair growth, hair health. It prevents graying of the hair and also prevents hair loss and balding. It can promote thickness, so if your hair is thinning, it is a great option for you. And the best part is it can be used on all hair types and all scalp types, as you can always adjust the oils and the herbs that you use to promote it for the right scalp that you are assigning it to. And overall, you will notice the oiling process brings you a sense of calm, as it's often followed by a light massage. And do note, if you have hair loss issues, you should not be massaging your hair very rough, but the little light massage with the oil always helps relax you and calm you. It's like a little meditation while you're doing it, so it's good for your mental health and your hair health. So the second part I will talk about today are the modern techniques that are used in the Western culture and more modern countries now. You might have already heard these terms before, such as deep conditioning, pre-poo, or hair masks from natural ingredients. And all of these products are just trying to achieve what hair oiling has been passing down for all of these centuries. So many of these masks have little bits and parts of the benefits that the hair oil offers, but it often does half of the job that the oil will do. At Sinha Hair, we made sure we adjusted to the modern time, so we do offer our oil in the whipped version, so we don't change any ingredients. We just whip it up so it's a nice creamy texture and it's easier for you to apply. Another very popular oiling method you might have heard of is hot oiling method, and this comes from Ayurveda and the traditional oiling method that has been passed down for centuries. This is simply the same as oiling your hair, but it's with the heated oil. So before you apply the oil, you heat it over the stove or in a microwave. Make sure it's at a nice warm temperature. When you apply it to your hair, it makes sure it opens up all of your pores in the scalp and this makes sure the oil seeps into your hair and scalp way faster than it was if it was cold. As a quick note, you can also use our growth oils for a hot oil session, as these have been used for hot oil sessions for centuries. You just have to heat it up the regular way you do with any other oil and apply it onto your scalp. So I have two more parts I will touch on, which is basically the same thing, which is importance of hair oiling and the benefits of hair oiling. And right after that, I will get to my hot oil session, the way I do it, that I was taught using the traditional method. So the importance of oiling sessions and hot oiling sessions might seem a little cosmetic at times, but it is definitely not. As your body needs nutrients and protein to grow and keep it healthy, your hair also needs the proper nutrients and protein to keep it healthy and strong and to keep it growing. Which is why a lot of people, as they age, they will realize they lose hair because they're lacking in more protein, vitamins, nutrients due to the diet or just what they're applying to their hair or just old age in general. You may have heard your grandparents often tell you to oil your hair, and this is for a very good reason, as it does not only promote hair growth and strength, it keeps your hair healthy, moisturized, and it also prevents a lot of damage, including scalp issues such as dandruff, dermatitis, and a lot of other issues that could cause itchiness and uncomfortableness. Although it is not often said so, hair oiling should be just as important as shampoo and conditioner. And a lot of people often say, I'm just using a regular conditioner, I don't need to do a deep condition treatment, which is very similar to oiling. And this is not true no matter what type of hair you have. Even if you have the healthiest hair in the world, you should always do the treatment 1 to 3 times a week just to prevent the damage, to make sure you keep that hair healthy and to keep it glowing. So I did touch up on the benefits of hair oiling earlier, very lightly, so I will go a little more in depth, trying not to take too long with all of the benefits, as there are many benefits to hair oiling. So the first benefit is it keeps the scalp hydrated. So due to constant outdoor exposure, your scalp and hair will often be dehydrated, and even chemical ingredients can dehydrate your hair and suck all the moisture out of it. And it's very important to oil your hair 1 to 3 times a week to combat that and to make sure that your hair has all of the moisture, the oil, the proteins that it needs to keep it from drying out and causing more damage and split ends. The second benefit is hair growth. So this is obvious with our oil, especially as it's called growth oil. We infuse many herbs for hair growth and strength in it, as other Ayurvedic oils for hair do. And not only can it promote hair growth, it can also promote hair strength, and it prevents dandruff. We also have a special oil for those with oily scalps and dandruff. This is called the tea growth oil or the antibacterial oil, which is the yellow vine oil. Either one of these products can be great for you depending on what type of condition you have, for stopping the excess oil production and making sure your scalp gets back to a normal scalp. Another great benefit oiling has, it offers shine and glow. So if you do treatments weekly, you will notice your hair has an extra shine and glow, like you just came out of the salon and got a full treatment. And this is because the oil makes sure it provides some moisture and locks in, depending on what type of oil you are using as well. Another amazing benefit oiling your hair has is it prevents graying. So as you get older or you have premature graying, we add a lot of ingredients, especially at Sinha Hair, to prevent this issue. And premature graying is often caused by lack of nourishment in the hair as well, which is fixed by the hair oil if you apply it weekly. And the last two benefits hair oil provides is it prevents hair fall, which goes with the hair growth. Usually stops the hair fall and completely strengthens your hair, so you don't see any more hair loss issues. This also depends on the type of oil you are using, but you will definitely see these benefits with our growth oil. And the last benefit it has is stress relief. So as I said earlier, just the application and the process of you applying this oil onto your hair helps you get calmer. And the last benefit it has is stress relief. So when you apply this oil, you will often notice you are calmer and more relaxed, and it offers you a little meditation sensation when you have the treatment. So now the last part of our video is me showing you how I do my hot oil treatment, how I was taught by my grandma. So if you are excited for this and want to learn how I was taught, stay tuned and I'll be right back. So when I heat up the oil, I make sure I use a glass cup and water on the stove to get the nice warm throughout the entire oil. But you can always put it into the microwave and heat it up for 30 seconds to get just below the heat. Too hot, but just warm enough so it can open up your pores. So when you do a hot oil session or any oil session in general, you need to make sure you brush with a wooden comb, as this is what we traditionally do. Wooden combs just help with causing less breakage, adding to the detangling process, as well as making sure your hair is healthy and doesn't get frizzy. So once I've detangled all my hair, I make sure I start applying the oil starting with my scalp. I start from the top of the scalp and then work my way towards the middle and the sides. You need to make sure you thoroughly get the oil into the scalp, as this is the most important area of your oiling session. The hair in general does need oil, but where all the benefits can seep into the hair is where the scalp is. I finished my scalp and I'm moving on to my hair now. I'm gonna make sure I get every single part of my scalp and hair, including the middle and my ends where they're mostly damaged and dry. And once you have the oil thoroughly through all of your scalp and hair, all you need to do is put it in a tight bun, not too tight if you have hair loss issues, or braid it. I like to braid it, as this makes sure the oil stays in the hair and it seeps into the hair and scalp more. And it's also easier to deal with. Now this was a very quick hot oil session for me, but you can always take your time. Make sure you massage it in to your scalp. Make sure you reap all the benefits. I just wanted to do a quick tutorial for you guys for the video today. And that is how you do a hot oil session. Once you have the oil in, just make sure you keep it in your hair for 1 to 8 hours, just like with any other oil session. You can also sleep overnight with it on. And when you wash the oil off, you need to make sure you use a sulfate-free shampoo, and you might need to wash 2 or 3 times to make sure you get all of the oil out of your hair. The important part is to not keep any oil residue in your hair and to make sure you have it all out by the time you are out of the wash. Now I will show you my results. So that is all for this week's content, kings and queens. I hope you enjoyed our hair oiling session, and as well as all this history and the benefits we explained today. Hair oiling is definitely a tradition that should be followed in the Western culture and the Asian culture, and it should be followed regularly as much as you shampoo and condition. And I hope you learned why you should do that, as well as what products you should use for your hair oiling. That is all for this week, kings and queens. Hope you have a great week.